Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. My name is Troy, and I really appreciate you taking your time tuning into my video. Real quick, I want to thank everybody that watched my last video, and also for those who liked, shared, and subscribed, and hit those post notifications after watching that video as well. That video got over 40,000 views, and I really do appreciate it. And that video was about the truth about what happened at the IRS Montana gun shop raid. And if by chance you haven't watched that video yet, at the end of this video there will be a thumbnail and you can click on it and watch the video. Alright, let's get into today's video. Of course, we expect anti-gunners and the Democrats to always try to infringe on our Second Amendment rights. But it's pretty bad when you find out Republicans are coming after your Second Amendment rights as well. And that's what some Republicans are being accused of in the state of Oregon. When it comes to people's civil rights, where are the lines? For many, there's nothing off the table when it comes to defending or restoring something, like the right to keep and bear arms. Sacrifices must be made time to time. In Oregon, Republicans in the legislature are catching some flack at the moment, and for a pretty good reason. They are being accused of selling out gun owners in order to protect their own careers. The unimaginable debacle. This Oregon legislative session is not quite over after a 6-week protest that brought the leftist extremist agenda to a halt and gave hope to thousands of Oregonians. The Senate Republican leader and a few of his more despicable cronies declared unconditional surrender and helped pass HB 2005. Under the current version of this bill, gun owners in Oregon could face up to 5 years in prison and $125,000 fines for the crime of having built their own firearms. For centuries, Americans have been responsible for some of the greatest innovations of firearms technology, while building and modifying firearms at home. Personally manufactured firearms have always been legal and never required bowing down to the state and applying for government-regulated serial numbers for personal firearms that were not being sold. This kind of legislation has already been found unconstitutional in other states. The Senate Republican leader, Tim Nope, has now crushed that personal liberty, placed gun owners in the crosshairs, and claimed it's a massive victory. Senator Lynn Finley said, "These are major victories for accountability, accessibility, and civil rights." He went on to attack the very bill he helped pass by showing up on the floor. Only in the Alice in Wonderland fantasy world of politicians, to the people who rolled over and sold out the folks who hired them, claim success when they gave up someone else's rights. Apparently in Oregon, once you have 10 unexcused absences, you're no longer eligible to run for re-election or even hold office in the future. So these Republicans stepped out and tried to block a vote on this particular bill, but then came back before they could be punished by losing the opportunity to hold office ever again. Not all did, but enough that the vote took place. I could deal with that in and of itself. After all, one can make the case that you can do more good in office than sitting at home till the end of time. But what really ticks me off is these Republicans apparently calling this a victory. Plus, it seems House Republicans pretty much did nothing to try to block the passage of the bill, other than some pro forma efforts that make it look like they put up a good fight without having to risk anything. I get it, not everyone wants to put their careers on the line. They have a right to decide what matters more to them. But what they don't get to do is to pretend that their caving on this issue is any kind of victory. And that's the insulting part in everyone's mind. So all these Republicans need to keep this in mind. When they run for re-election, they may find the voters will decide. They can just stay home permanently just the same. It sounds to me there in Oregon, once some of these people come up for re-election, they're not going to be re-elected, and they shouldn't. They threw the Second Amendment rights of the people out the window so they could keep their jobs. I would really like to hear your thoughts about the video in the comment section down below. And as always, I really do appreciate everybody's support. You guys are always helping the channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing and hitting those post notifications. And I invite everybody back to see my next video.